Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Now today I'm going to be watering my Echeverias, Graptosedums, Echeverias and the likes for the very first time after their winter rest. And these are the majority of my Echeverias and all here on these 3 trays. And as you can see, they are very shriveled. So it's going to be absolutely wonderful to get giving these a really good water today. And I've been absolutely itching to water these Echeverias for such a long time because, as you can see, there is flowers, absolutely wonderful, and loads of flower buds on the way as well on the other ones. So they're really desperate for good water. They're starting to look a lot like limp lettuce. I mean, look how shriveled that one is. And if you want to know why I haven't watered them until now, well, we've had really lovely, beautiful sunny days here in Ireland, in Northern Ireland, but the nights have been bitterly cold, like sometimes -2, -3 degrees. And although we have a heater here that comes on when it drops below 5, even at 5 Celsius, it's still cold to have plants sitting in wet soil. So I've had to really be strong and withheld the watering until now. Thank goodness now at the weekend the nights are going to be minimum of 5, 6, even 7 degrees Celsius. So it's perfectly okay now for me to go ahead and give all of these here a really good watering. And other than I watered a couple of the very small ones, such as this one here, and a couple of the sedums, a little bit of water sort of January, February time, because they were so shriveled I had to water them. But all of the other ones have been kept totally dry. So it's going to be so amazing and satisfying to give them their really first drink of the year now. Now it's spring and the fear of the really cold nights have gone away. Lovely to see buds there. They're desperate for good drink. And although these Echeverias look pretty awful at the moment because they're looking like limp lettuce, they will really plump up in a couple of days after they've had a really good watering. And although it's sunny in here at the moment, the sun's on them, it's sort of late afternoon, so it's a good time to give them a bit of a water, sort of late afternoon, coming into the early evening time. So at night time, when it's dark, they've got a chance to really take up that water, and they'll all plump again, all plump up and nice in the next day or two. So that's what I'm going to be doing. This is a bit of a video vlog with you all. And I just want to mention I've made quite a few videos on Echeverias, including a how to care for Echeveria video, and also a video on how to remove the dead leaves from Echeverias, because as they grow they often drop these dead leaves and they just come off and shrivel, and you just take them off just to make them look a little bit neater, such as these dead leaves there. And quite a few other care videos on Echeverias, so do check them out. I'll link them videos up above in the information sign above there, above this video, and I'll also put them all down below in the video description as well. So if you want to know how to care for Echeveria and how to remove dead leaves from Echeverias and other type of Echeveria care videos, then do check out them videos I've made. This is just a bit of a video vlog of me watering these today, and I'm going to show you then after I film it now when I'm watering them, and a couple of days after when they've all plumped up, and see the difference in how they look. And what I'm going to be doing when I start off the succulents, and also with the cacti as well, for the first time after their winter rest, I like to give them a good bit of tomato fertiliser. And I use a brand by MacLeod, but you can use any type of good quality tomato feed, including Tomarite and the other good brands. And the reason why I use tomato fertiliser is because it's very high in potassium, and it really helps to encourage blooming. Now a lot of these are blooming anyway, so they've been kept totally dry over the winter months, and we're well into the second week in April now, and they're still flowering, coming into flower. So it's not a necessity, but it will really help to encourage them blooms, and also the other ones to help the extra high potassium in the tomato feed to get blooming. But what I'm going to be doing is, normally over the spring and summer, I use the tomato fertilizer at half of the recommended strength that you use for tomatoes, because obviously succulents and cacti are very different to tomatoes, obviously. But because this is their first watering, I'm going to be giving them completely from probably September time. I'm only going to be using quarter of the strength. And the reason I'm using quarter and not half is because they're so dry that if I water them with half the strength, it could be a little bit too strong for them because they're in very dry soil. So quarter of the strength that you normally use for tomatoes, I'm going to be using just for the first watering, and then after that, after a couple of times, I'm going to go back to using half the strength, and then I use that usually about once every 2 to 3 waterings that I give them over the spring and summer. That's a little bit about that. And if you want to know why on earth I use tomato fertilizer for the cacti and succulents, then I've made a couple of videos on that. But in case you don't know, I'll link the video up above and also down below in the video description on why I like to use tomato fertilizer to feed my cacti and succulents, and I mention a bit more detail in there. So there you go. This is all these shriveled, wrinkly and crinkly succulents here. And I'm going to also do the crassulas as well, because they're looking very shriveled. This one's been blooming beautiful since the winter. But as you can see, very wrinkly. They're going to love a nice big watering now, and it's so lovely to do. Now here we go, that's the MacLeod tomato fertiliser with seaweed extract, which gives them a bit of a boost as well. And I normally use the organic one, which is in a brown container, but I couldn't get hold of the organic one this time, so I'm just using the ordinary one. But if you can get hold of the organic one, that's always better, because it's just better quality. But the original one in the sort of red container is just as good as well. So MacLeod there, seaweed plus. And I've got 10 litres of rainwater there, clean rainwater. If you can't use rainwater, then tap water is always another alternative. Just make sure that it sort of rests for about 24 hours to help to eliminate any of the excess chlorine and fluoride and all the other stuff in it. And then I've got my watering spray here, with which is also, this is 7 sort of litres there. There you go, that's a tomato feed now. It looks very brown, but it is quite diluted. It just gives a lovely sort of brown colouring to the water. So that's the feed in there, and now I'm going to fix it up and give it all a good pumping. And I'm so excited to give these Echeverias and Graptosedums and the like their first real good water since the long winter. That's it all pumped up. And I like to use these nozzle pump sprays, because you can get to reach all the ones at the back without having to knock anything over. When I use the watering can, it's easy to knock plants over. But what I'm going to be doing here, this is great. I can just aim it straight at the nozzle here. And here we go. Wonderful to give them a really good water. Oh, they so need it. I've been so desperate to do this, guys. It's just that the weather has so many horrible cold nights here for April. Like this time last year, we had some wonderful warm weather, and the days have been great. They've been nice and sunny, so the plants have been shriveling, but the nights just so bitterly cold. So here we go. Good to see all the Echeverias all coming into bud as well, and flower. So rather than bore you all with this video, because it could be quite a long one, me watering all these, I'm going to show you some of them me watering them I should say, and then show you what it's like when it's all done. Now I've got a lot of my aloes and gasterias and the like. As you can see, they're very sort of dark red and shriveled because they're desperate to be watered too, but I'll probably water them in the next day or two, and I'll make a video when I water all of these for the first time as well. As you can see, they're very shriveled and also need a good drink, but I'm just going to focus on the other type of succulents today, and I've got a few more left on the back here. My string of tears and string of bananas and string of pearls. I'm going to be giving all these a good watering too. And the lovely little red coloured sedum there. Beautiful plant, this one. Give that a good watering. Now that's them all given a really good watering. As you can see, the trays are sort of a lot of water on there, but that's soon going to dry, so they're going to really drink it all up and fatten up in the next day or two. And then I'm going to show you on this same video what they look like probably tomorrow or the next day when they've all firmed up a lot. And I still have the majority of all of my cacti here that I have not given a scrap of water to because it has been so cold. And I have lots coming into bud here, a lot of the Echeverias and the Graptovedrias, loads of buds coming. As you can see, they're really exciting. So it's going to be a blooming paradise here very soon, the next few weeks. But I'm going to start up, I think next week the weather's going to be, the nights are going to be much milder, so I'm going to be able to go ahead and start all these up again with a bit of the a week's strength of the tomato fertiliser, and it's going to give all these buds that are just forming on the cacti here a really good booster. So stay tuned for another vlog video coming up in a few days' time when I water the desert cacti like these for the first time after their winter rest. So it's going to be really exciting, and good to see I've done all these, given all these a good water too. And now I'm going to show you probably in the next day or two what they look like after they've all fattened up. Now here it is, it's a couple of days later, and happy to say all of the plants have all nicely fattened up there, and you can see the leaves are all nice and plump again. They were so shriveled like limp lettuce before, so they're looking so much healthier, and the buds have got bigger as well on them. Look at the flower spikes there with the buds on. Really excited. It's going to be a blooming paradise very soon here with all the Echeverias. So wonderful to see. They look so much better now they've all been watered. And what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be watering some of the aloes, well, all of the aloes, gasterias and haworthias here, because they're very, very shriveled. And I'll probably make that video and upload it in a couple of days' time, so stay tuned for that video. But happy to say all these are done. Say we're having lovely, beautiful, sunny days, warm days, but the nights are still so cold. In fact, I think they're forecast frost again tonight, so we're having to still use the heater on of an evening. Such a dodgy time of year when you really want to get water in the plants when they're shriveling, but they're still kept in a cold environment. You have to still be careful. April can be a dodgy month, but I'm itching to get watering, hopefully in the next couple of days when the nights warm up. I mean, look how shriveled these little Graptosedums seedlings are. They're desperate, but I may just have to go ahead and water them anyway and put the heater on of a night time because it's getting well sort of into the later spring now. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you haven't done already, please do subscribe, and don't forget to click that notification bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. And also check my website out, desertplantsofavalon.com, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Desert Plants of Avalon. I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye. Thank you for watering me.